Emma had always prided herself on being rational, grounded, but when she met Caleb, all logic seemed to slip through her fingers like sand. He was magnetic, a force she couldn't resist, even though he belonged to someone else. She told herself, it wasn't real, just harmless stolen moments. A lingering glance, an innocent touch. But when he whispered that he wished things were different, that if life had taken another path, it would have been her, Emma felt something she hadn't in years: hope. For months, they played a dangerous game, texting late into the night, meeting in places where no one would recognize them. She ignored the guilt gnawing at her, convincing herself that as long as nothing physical happened, she wasn't doing anything wrong. But deep down, she knew better. Then one night, the illusion shattered. Caleb's wife, Sophia, showed up at her office. No screaming, no accusations, just a quiet, knowing stare. "You're not the first," she said simply. "And you won't be the last." The weight of her own foolishness crushed her. She had told herself that their connection was special, that he loved her in a way he didn't love his wife. But now she saw the truth. She was just another name on a long list of mistakes. Across the city, Ryan was experiencing his own unraveling. His fiancée, Natalie, had always been perfect. Too perfect. When she said she had a work trip in another state, something inside him told him to check. A gut feeling, a whisper of doubt he couldn't ignore, a quick search, a few calls, and suddenly, the truth was staring him in the face. She wasn't where she said she'd be. Worse, she was with someone else. The confrontation was inevitable. When she walked through the door days later, all he had to do was hold up his phone, the screenshots of her betrayal lighting up the screen. "Why?" he asked, his voice hollow. She didn't cry, didn't beg. She just sighed, as if she were exhausted. "Because I never wanted this life, Ryan. I just didn't know how to tell you." And just like that, everything he thought he knew fell apart. In another corner of town, Lydia sat alone in her car, gripping the steering wheel so tightly her knuckles turned white. She had given years of her life to Daniel, ignoring every warning sign, every red flag. Love was supposed to be about patience, about understanding. That's what she had told herself. But now, after finding yet another excuse on his phone, yet another lie, she finally understood. Love wasn't about suffering, so she started the engine. And for the first time in years, she drove away. 3 people, 3 betrayals, 3 lives, forever changed.